Rajesh Khanna, Assistant Professor of Physics, Nehru Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Welcome to Lecture 4. This Lecture 4 comprises of two sessions. The Session 1, Non-Uniform Bending. That means we are going to determine the Young's modulus of the material of the beam by the method of non-uniform bending method. Next one, the experimental setup of non-uniform bending. And the third one, what is the difference between uniform and non-uniform bending? The uniform bending was discussed in the last session, and that means the last lecture. And we are going to discuss what are the difference between uniform and non-uniform bending methods. These are all content of session 1. And in the session 2, what is meant by Young's modulus by the theoretical concept as well as experimental concept. Now enter into the session 1. What is meant by non-uniform bending methods? This is the simple diagram for explaining the what is meant by non-uniform bending. This is the simple beam. We have to apply a load at the center. That means the W represents the load. We are applying the load at the center. Due to the application of the load, the beam becomes bent. That means the sum of the depression will be produced. This is nothing but non-uniform bending. A non-uniform bending is the case where the cross section is not only bent but also sheared. Here the cross section not only bent, it also sheared. Some of the angle will be changed due to the application of the stress. Hence the bending moment is not a constant. So it is called non-uniform bending. This is the simple experimental setup for non-uniform bending method. This is our required beam. We are going to determine the Young's modulus of the beam. At the center we have to apply the load. This is our specimen. That just like a plastic beam. At the center we are going to apply the load. So the beam will be depressed like this. Now what is the difference between uniform and non-uniform bending methods? This is already discussed in the lecture 3. This is our lecture 4. This is uniform bending. This is non-uniform bending methods. In the uniform bending methods, the major difference is here we have to apply the load at both the ends. In the uniform bending methods, we have to apply the load at both the ends of the beam. But in the non-uniform bending, we have to apply the load at the center. This is the main difference that is mentioned in the point 2. In the uniform bending, the beam is loaded uniformly at both ends. In non-uniform bending, the beam loaded at the center. This is the major difference. What is the cause of these things? In uniform bending, every element of a beam is bent with the same radius of curvature. In the uniform bending, the first case, in the uniform bending, every element of the beam is bent with the same radius of curvature. But in the non-uniform bending, due to the application load at the center, the radius of curvature is not the same for all elements in the beam. These are all major difference between uniform and non-uniform bending methods. Now we are going to discuss about how to determine the Young's modulus of the material of the beam by the method of non-uniform bending method basis of RBD. Our course objective to understand the Young's modulus of the beam with the help of non-uniform bending methods. This is our course objective. General objective is to study the depression of the beam by the method of non-uniform bending and also determine the Young's modulus of the beam. These are all some of the course objective and the general objective. Specific objective for the topic. First one, what is meant by non-uniform bending, and also label the difference between uniform and non-uniform bending method. That means we are going to discuss what are the difference between uniform and non-uniform bending methods, how to determine the external bending moment of the beam. And the fourth one is what is meant by depression of the beam. These are all some of the specific objective of the topic. These are all some of the comparison of knowledge dimension in the cognitive process. This is a simple sketch of non-uniform bending method. This is the beam. You have to apply the load at the center. This is the microscope. Take the readings. This is some of the equations we are going to derive in these sessions. That is, depression of the beam is equal to y is equal to double by 2 into L by 2 whole cube divided by 3yig. Therefore, y is equal to W L cube divided by 48yig. We are going to derive in this session. Some of the simulative questions. First one, define non-uniform bending. Already discussed. The non-uniform bending is the case where the cross section is not only bent but also sheared. Hence the bending moment is not a constant. Second one, difference between uniform and non-uniform bending. In the uniform bending, every element of the beam is bent with the same radius of curvature. The non-uniform bending, the radius of the curvature is not the same for all the elements in the beam. This is the difference between uniform and non-uniform bending. The second difference between uniform and non-uniform bending. In the uniform bending, the beam is loaded uniformly on both ends. In the non-uniform bending, the beam loaded in the center. This is the student activity after completion of the session. Concept map. This is the simple flow diagram for easy understanding this concept. This is a general heading, elasticity. Hooke's law. This is the relation between the Hooke's law gives relation between Young's modulus, rigidity modulus, bulk modulus. This is our main aim, Young's modulus. To determine the Young's modulus of the beam by the method of non-uniform bending method. Here we have discussed theoretical as well as experimental methods. This is the session objective. At the end of the sessions, the students will be able to understand the concept of Young's modulus of the material of the beam by the method of non-uniform bending method. This is our main session objective. By the theoretical methods, we are going to determine the Young's modulus of the material of the beam by non-uniform bending methods. You know, non-uniform bending method is nothing but you have to apply the load at the center. Due to the application of load at the center, the beam becomes depressed. Just listen this diagram. A and B represent the two knife edges. C is the midpoint of the beam. The P represents the pin. It is used for reference position to take the reading using a microscope. We are going to discuss in the experimental technique, and L is the distance between the two knife edges. That is nothing but length of the beam. That is, let us consider a beam of length L. That is the distance between the two knife edges supported on two knife edges A and B as shown in the figure. Listen, this is our specimen B. A and B are two knife edges and L is the length of the beam. The load of the weight W is suspended at the center. It is found that the beam becomes bent at a maximum displacement is at the point P where the load is given. This is mentioned here. Due to the application of load at the center, the beam becomes bent. That means depressed with the maximum depressions. Okay. Yes. Due to the load W applied at the middle of the beam, the reaction W/2 is acted vertically upwards at the each knife edges. The bending is called non-uniform bending. That means we have to apply the load at the center. This is the action. The reaction will be takes place at the two ends. That is an A and B. That is split into two. That W action is split into two. One of is W/2. Another one is another W/2. That means here we have to imagine the non-uniform bending setup is considered as here two cantilevers. That is already discussed in the lecture 2. This is one end is fixed, another end is free. In the free end we have to apply the load. This is one fixed end. This is another free end. This is another fixed end, another free end. So the W load is split into two. That is W/2 and W/2. So we have to split the beam as combination of two cantilevers. Cantilever 1 and cantilever 2. So we have to apply the formula for cantilever for determining the depression of the beam. Just see here, the beam may be considered as two cantilevers. That is cantilever 1 and cantilever 2, whose free end carries a load of W/2 and fixed at the point C. C means we have to apply the total load. Due to the application of the total load is split into two. One is a W/2, another one is a W/2. Hence we can say the elevation of the beam, elevation of A above C and the depression below A, we know the depression of the cantilever. Y is equal to WL cube divided by 3YIG. This is the formula for depression of the cantilever. So we have to convert this formula for our required determination of Young's modulus by the method of non-uniform bending methods. Just see this. Therefore, the substituting L is equal to L/2 and W is equal to W/2. That means here this is the combination of two cantilevers. So length is total length is divided into 2 L/2 L/2 and also load W also divided into W/2 W/2. So substituting here, therefore substituting L is equal to L/2 and W is equal to W/2 in the expression of the depression of the beam. We have this is the formula for cantilever. Here W is equal to W/2 and L is equal to L/2. So substituting Y is equal to W/2 and L/2 whole cube by 3YIG. We get the value of Y, that is depression of the beam by the method of Young's modulus. W on simplification, Y is equal to WL cube by 48YIG. This is our requirement, depression of the beam by the method of non-uniform bending methods. Now we are going to see how to determine Young's modulus by the experimental methods in the animated video below.
The beam for which the Young's modulus has to be found is placed on the two knife edges as shown at equal distances. The weight anchor, that is the dead load, is suspended at the center of the beam and the pin is focused through the microscope, and the tip of the pin is made to coincide with the horizontal cross wire as shown, and the reading is noted. Now the weights are added in steps of 50 grams. Each time the tip of the pin is made to touch the horizontal cross wire, and the readings are noted from the vertical scale of the traveling microscope. The same procedure is followed until the maximum load is reached. The same procedure is again repeated by unloading the weights in steps of same 50 grams, and in each time the readings are tabulated. Using the observed data, the depression is calculated.
These are all some of the objective type questions based on our previous lecture. First one, in a simply supported beam, the bending moment at the end is always 0 if it does not carry couple at the end. This is the answer. What is the reason behind that? The second question, in a cantilever carrying a uniformly varying load starting from 0 at the free end, the shear force diagram is the horizontal line parallel to x-axis, a line included to x-axis, follows a parabolic law, follows a cubic law. What is the reason behind that? The answer is follows a parabolic law. What is the reason? Third one, for any part of the beam between two concentrated load shear force diagram is horizontal straight line. It must be horizontal straight line. What is the reason? The fourth one, in a cantilever beams there is dash stress above the neutral axis. It is a compressive, tensile or temperature or shear stress. That is a tensile stress. What is the reason for that? In a simply supported beams, the stress distribution is not uniform. That is means the bending stress is not uniform. What is the reason? All of you submit it. That is assignment for the reasons. Thank you.